You were taught since childhood that kindness builds loyalty, that morality shapes greatness, and that honesty wins respect. But what if everything you've been taught is a carefully designed illusion? What if real power doesn't belong to the kind or the honest, but to the strategic, the ones who understand human nature better than humans understand themselves? This is not fiction. This is how the world truly works. And once you understand Machiavelli's philosophy, you will never look at politics, business, relationships, even society itself, the same way again. Machiavelli observed something dark about human nature. Loyalty is fragile. People stay as long as it benefits them. They leave the second it doesn't. And it's not evil. It's survival. Look at your own life. Friends who disappeared when you struggled. Colleagues who supported you until the promotion was announced. Online influencers who get worshipped one week and canceled the next. Human loyalty is transactional, bound by self-interest. Freud explained it perfectly. Humans act from fear first, desire second, and morality comes last, and often not at all. It is safer to be feared than loved. Love is unpredictable. Fear is reliable. A leader loved today can be hated tomorrow, but a leader feared controls loyalty. This isn't just theory. It's everywhere. In politics, a government's approval ratings rise and fall, but its authority stays intact because of one thing: fear of consequences. In workplaces, most employees don't love their bosses. They comply because they fear losing their jobs. In relationships, fear of rejection often holds more power than love itself. Robert Greene, author of 48 Laws of Power, explained this perfectly. A wise ruler must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Machiavelli believed power isn't strength. Power is perception. A fox survives because it sees hidden traps. A lion survives because it commands fear. In business, Apple plays this perfectly. Before every iPhone launch, fake leaks flood the internet, manipulating competitors, triggering hype cycles, and shaping consumer demand, all without showing a single real feature. The CIA used the same principle during the Cold War. Misinformation campaigns confused enemies without firing a bullet. Power is not brute force. Power is invisible control. In politics, morality is a luxury. The system taught you to play fair, to follow rules, to believe honesty wins. But here's the truth. The game was rigged before you entered it. Politicians lie. Corporations manipulate. Religions rewrite morality, not because they're evil, but because power doesn't reward honesty. Think about Cambridge Analytica. Millions of people had their personal data stolen, their political beliefs micro-targeted, and entire elections manipulated. And yet most didn't even realize it. Yuval Noah Harari explained this perfectly. The crowd does not think. The crowd obeys. Look around you. You open Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and without realizing, you start comparing. Better jobs, better vacations, better lives. You scroll. You imitate. You adjust your choices. Not because you want to, but because everyone else is doing it. This is the modern trap Machiavelli warned about. The illusion of choice, while someone else pulls the strings. One influencer claims, "This is the secret to success," and millions echo it within hours. A trending product launches. You buy it without asking if you even need it. The crowd moves, and you move with it, blindfolded. In workplaces, a policy is introduced that makes no sense, but no one protests. Everyone stays silent because the crowd is silent. And here's the terrifying part. You think you're choosing freely, but your decisions are designed for you. Algorithms know what scares you, what excites you, what keeps you scrolling at 3 a.m. By the time you decide to buy, watch, or believe something, that decision was already made. The truth is brutal. Herd mentality kills individuality. It kills creativity. It kills clarity. And Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Power belongs to the one who stands outside the crowd, watching it move, not the one lost inside it. Think about it. On social media, outrage spreads faster than facts. One accusation destroys reputations before the truth even surfaces. You've seen it happen. Celebrities canceled overnight, companies boycotted instantly, people attacked for a single tweet. It's not morality driving this chaos. It's momentum. The crowd doesn't analyze. The crowd reacts. Psychologist Gustave Le Bon called this the madness of crowds. He discovered that when individuals enter a group, they lose rational thought and become driven by collective emotion. Fear spreads, anger spreads, desire spreads. And Machiavelli understood this before psychology even existed. He knew that power lies not in controlling people individually, but in controlling the stories that control the crowd. Humans believe in stories, and those who control the stories control the world. And today, stories are engineered. Your fears are programmed. Your desires are designed. Streaming platforms decide what you watch. Apps decide what you like. Search engines decide what you believe. You think you are scrolling freely, but in reality, you're being trained. Netflix tested this perfectly. They discovered that if they don't hook you in the first 7 seconds of a show, you will leave. So they rewired entire scripts to manipulate dopamine spikes at the exact moment your brain would want to quit. That's not entertainment. That's psychological engineering. Now imagine this on a global scale. Elections, investments, relationships, every decision guided by what you're told to see. People are moved more by fear than by truth. Politicians use this daily. News headlines scream fear, outrage, danger. Because fear sells faster than facts. Fear controls decisions. Fear controls votes. And in your personal life, fear works the same way. Fear of rejection keeps you silent. Fear of failure keeps you obedient. Fear of judgment keeps you trapped. Machiavelli knew one thing. Fear is the most efficient form of control ever invented. A wise ruler must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Machiavelli didn't just study politics. He studied human nature itself. And he discovered something terrifying. Power doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to the one who can see without being seen. To survive, you must learn to be two things at once. A fox who detects manipulation before it traps you, and a lion who commands fear when someone dares to challenge you. Apple masters this every year. Before an iPhone launch, fake leaks flood the internet, intentionally designed to confuse competitors, manipulate journalists, and create hype before revealing the real product. That's not marketing. That's psychological warfare. The CIA used the same strategy during the Cold War, spreading misinformation campaigns that weakened enemy confidence without firing a single bullet. The most powerful don't attack directly. They make you destroy yourself. Quote, Power built on perception lasts longer than power built on truth. Skip narration. This is the secret Machiavelli understood. People don't follow reality, they follow beliefs. If you control what people believe, you control what they do. Look at social media, blue check culture. Influencers with curated lives, rented cars, fake watches, and staged vacations. And yet, millions believe they're successful simply because the image is convincing. Perception becomes reality. And Machiavelli warned, the one who controls perception controls power. The ends justify the means. This is Machiavelli's most misunderstood idea. People think it promotes cruelty. It doesn't. It reveals a truth most people can't handle. Results matter more than intentions. Your boss doesn't care how many hours you worked, only whether the target was met. Investors don't care how passionate a founder is, only whether the company grows. Politicians don't care what promises they break, only whether they win. Morality sounds beautiful until survival is on the line. And when survival collides with ethics, ethics lose every time. Machiavelli knew the biggest threat to power isn't opposition, it's exposure. When people know your full plan, they predict your next move. And when they predict you, they control you. Tesla understood this deeply. He kept his most powerful experiments hidden, mocked by society, abandoned by investors, and yet his discoveries power the modern world today. Solitude is a weapon. Schopenhauer warned centuries ago. The smarter you are, the more dangerous the crowd becomes, because the crowd kills clarity. Tesla spent endless nights alone, building what the world wasn't ready to believe. Nietzsche walked the mountains of Switzerland, isolated, alienated, and ignored. But his writings shaped modern philosophy. Galileo stood against the Catholic Church, forced to recant his discoveries. But today his vision defines science. Look closely. Every visionary you admire stood alone before they changed the world. Solitude isn't loneliness. Solitude is freedom. Because when you disconnect from the crowd, you stop thinking with their voices and start thinking with your own. That's where power begins. Men judge more with their eyes than their minds. We live in an era where image is stronger than truth. People don't follow facts, they follow appearances. A suit, a logo, a verified badge, and suddenly, power feels real, even if it isn't. Luxury brands exploit this psychology perfectly. A simple watch worth $50 becomes a $5,000 status symbol, not because of its quality, but because of what people believe it represents. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Perception is reality, and if you don't control your image, someone else will. This is why modern power doesn't rely on armies. It relies on narratives. Elections are won with slogans, products are sold with emotions, movements are built on simplified stories. Because facts don't change behavior, stories do. Think about how your newsfeed works. You don't see the truth, you see what's designed to trigger you. The headline isn't for information, it's for reaction. Politicians, corporations, influencers, all competing for the same thing, your attention. And once they control that, they control everything. People are driven more by fear than reason. Fear is the strongest psychological weapon ever created. Politicians use it, corporations exploit it, religions mastered it centuries ago. Fear bypasses logic and attacks the primal brain. Think about it. When a stock market crashes, people sell in panic, not because they analyze data, but because everyone else is selling. When a health scare trends online, millions rush to buy products without checking if they even work. Fear spreads faster than facts, and Machiavelli knew the one who controls fear controls people. In chess, the player who shows their entire strategy early loses. Life works the same way. The powerful keep their moves hidden until it's too late to stop them. This is why Tesla concealed his greatest experiments. This is why Steve Jobs rehearsed product launches in secret, while the world speculated blindly. This is why elite investors like Warren Buffett never reveal their next big play until they've already made it. Because once people see your plan, they prepare against it. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. The less they know, the stronger you remain. Solitude creates clarity. Schopenhauer warned that intelligent people naturally drift toward solitude, not because they dislike people, but because the crowd destroys clarity. Tesla, mocked and ignored, built inventions in silence that now power the modern world. Nietzsche, alienated and abandoned, wrote ideas so powerful they reshaped philosophy forever. Galileo stood against the entire church, forced to deny the truth, but today his discoveries define science itself. Every visionary you admire, every thinker who shifted history, paid the same price: solitude. Most people don't see this pattern. They believe crowds give safety, but crowds give blindness. When you think with the group, you stop thinking for yourself. When you speak like the group, you stop hearing your own voice. And when you follow blindly, you fall blindly. The one who controls perception controls reality. This is the final lesson. Power is not brute force. Power is invisible influence. Control attention, control emotions, control beliefs, and you control the world without firing a bullet. You've seen it already. Social media, influencers shaping your desires, tech companies shaping your habits, governments shaping your fears. You think you're free, but your thoughts are designed, your choices predicted, your behavior mapped. And here's the uncomfortable truth Machiavelli forces you to face. If you don't understand how power manipulates belief, you aren't free. You're controlled. The ends justify the means. This isn't about cruelty. This isn't about evil. This is about understanding the game being played around you. Because in every society, in every era, there are two types of people. Those who shape the world and those who are shaped by it. Which one are you?